Hey guys, what's up? It's Tank from 96.9 The Eagle, and one of my favorite guitarists of all time is Gary Hoey. He did the guitar cover of Hocus Pocus by Focus. He did the Endless Summer 2 soundtrack, and he's done so much great Christmas work. And today we're going to talk to him about his latest release and life on the road. And he's got a great Aussie story, so stick around. Hey Gary, how's it going, my man?
I'm doing great, brother. Good to be back on the show.
Hey man, I am just a huge fan of your work and everything that you do. I was actually just reminiscing, listening to the Endless Summer 2 soundtrack, and just it took me right back to that year and that summer and stuff like that. So I want to thank you for all the memories, man.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much. I can't believe it's coming up on the 30th anniversary of Endless Summer 2. I can't believe it.
It's crazy,
Next
man.
year.
And you've done over 20 albums. That is unbelievable, man. It's like you're just cranking them out.
Yes. Thank you. I've been busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I know one of the albums you worked with your son, right? And that had to have been pretty cool, right?
Yeah, always amazing. My son Ian is he's now 22, and he's been focusing a lot on his music. And to be on an album with him was a joy, and I'm so proud of him. He played with me last week. Actually, we had a gig with Lita Ford. She came to town and we jammed out, and he came up and did Red House and got a standing ovation. So he's really coming into his own. It's great to see.
Who's a better guitar player, Ian or Dad?
You know what? I want to say this honestly. He's doing stuff, because these young kids, they just get going so quick. He's doing stuff already that I'm going like, what did you just do? But I mean, I don't know if he can fill my shoes completely yet. But man, one day when I decide to retire, I think there's going to be another Hoey coming down the road.
Well, that's got to be a proud papa moment. It's amazing, man. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, he's a good kid too. He's a great young man. He's really a good person, and that's the most important to me.
Really, it is. Yeah, I appreciate that about you, man. So the reason we have you on is because holiday seasons, for a lot of us, especially for us rock fans, holiday season means Gary Hoey.
Absolutely, man. I wanted to fill that void for rock and roll, Christmas. Back in 1995, bro. I can't believe 28 years ago, I decided to try and just reinvent Christmas a little bit and give it a rock and roll flair. And there wasn't a lot of rock radio playing rock music, and I wanted to give you guys something to play. And I remember sitting there thinking, hey, what if I came up with a heavy riff and then we snuck into some Christmas, and I started going. And then I went into the Grinch. And it was born.
So you have a guitar with you right now.
I'm sitting here right now with my guitar.
You're like a good cowboy. You never leave without your gun. I love that.
Gotta have it, man. I love it.
That's amazing. So you have is it 3 total Gary Hoey albums now?
Yes. Well, we did volume 1, and then we did volume 2. Well, we did Hoey, then we did volume 2, volume 3, and then we came out with a best of, and then we ended up doing the complete collection, which was all the songs plus some bonus tracks that weren't released. And there was a double disc that we put out. And this year, actually, on Black Friday Record Store Day, we actually have our first ever vinyl called Hark the Hoey Hits. And we did a red-colored vinyl with a lot of the favorite songs on it. And that's going to be out on Black Friday, just to kind of put out something on vinyl, because we've never done it. So it's more of a novelty kind of thing. But that's going to be coming out. And I did the new single, which was the Nutcracker Sugar Plum Fairy. I wanted to rock that song out.
Yeah, we're going to hear a little bit of that. I'll play a little bit of that for you guys, and then we'll have it on the air as well. This is huge because your holiday party can now have a kick-ass rock Christmas soundtrack. Love that. Absolutely.
I love to be a part of people's holidays and their tradition. And, we go on tour. We see, kids and grandmothers and families coming out now. It's nice to see, and for me, it's an honor to be a part of people's holiday. I love it.
Well, I really love the new song. It's the ballet, and it's like elegant. It's an elegant rock song, which is kind of a rare combination. And I also love the fact that you're going to give away a autographed Fender guitar on Christmas Day. Apparently, this is something you've done for a lot of years now at GaryHoey.com.
Yes, absolutely. We came up with that idea about 16 years ago. My kids were sitting with me, and they're like, Dad, you should give away a guitar on Christmas Day every year. And I started doing a tradition where we we ask people just go to my website, GaryHoey.com, click on the newsletter, and then if you're already in it, you'll be in it to win it. And then we sit there on Christmas Eve. We go through the emails. People sometimes email me like, I want to win it for my son, or I've never played guitar. And then we pick somebody, and then on Christmas Day, we'll email them. And I have a nice red metal flake guitar autograph Fender that's ready to go.
I actually, it's funny because I have a Gary Hoey autographed guitar that I got. You came into the studio when I first started here in Jacksonville like 17 years ago. You came here with the morning show that I was with at the time, and you came in and played. You signed a guitar for me. You gave me an autographed copy of Utopia, and we took pictures and stuff like that. It was awesome. It was a great memory. It was one of my first times of meeting a big rock star. It was awesome.
Oh, that's so great, man. And you still have the autographed guitar.
I
and
still
everything.
do. Yeah,
that's great because I love coming out to stations and hanging with people and meeting people. Look at you now. Look at you now. You're running the show.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as running the show, but I don't have people making me wear bikinis in the snow anymore, so that's nice.
Right. What I'm trying to say is you paid your dues, bro, to sing the blues. You're doing it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Speaking of the blues, you do blues as well, right? You're a big blues guy. Blues and rock kind of together. I mean, I feel like when I think of blues and rock, I feel like they always say blues had a baby and they called it rock and roll. So I feel like those two are so married.
Yes, absolutely. Well, every few years, I always kind of change it up, try something different. And I did put out 3 blues records over the last decade. I was kind of going into, like you said, the blues rock thing. And I have a new record that I'm working on that'll be out in the new year. I'm going back a bit more to the rock, to be honest. I'm just feeling like I want to get back to my roots a little bit. So this new record coming out has got some cool songs that are rock and roll songs, and there's a little bit of blues, but it's definitely leaning more toward rock for sure.
Now you've been singing a little bit more lately. Are you singing in any of the new stuff?
Yes, I'm doing some vocals on the new stuff. There's some instrumentals too. I'm going to put some instrumental songs for sure. I'm really feeling that, and there's some vocal stuff. I lost my mom last February. If you guys follow me on social media, my mom and I used to do a thing called Coffee Time with Mom, where we would have coffee and talk, and she would just make me laugh. So I did a song called Dear Mama, which is a dedication to my mom, and that's a vocal song. And then there's a few others that are vocal songs that kind of come back to just the things I've been through the last year. I lost my baby sister to cancer, which is terrible.
God, man, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, man. A lot of families have been going through loss, like myself. So, I kind of put it into some songs, and that's it's going to be definitely a powerful, emotional record for sure.
Is that cathartic to be able to express yourself through your music like that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been my savior. When my sister was sick, she just kept saying to me, "You need to go out on tour and make people smile and do what you do." And I wanted to stay home and be with her. And she says, "You have to go. You have a tour to do." So, we find our strength in the music a lot, and I like being here, to help people. I'll help a lot of people too with my music. I think it helps.
Yeah, I see that you do so much charity work for like Toys for Tots and things like that. It's amazing to be able to use your gifts to give back in that way.
Absolutely. When you have a platform where you can affect people's lives and help kids and veterans and just a lot of people out there, the homeless. We do different things for the homeless as well to try to help people get ahead. It's a great way to give back. And in my live show, I always do the national anthem and dedicate it to all the veterans that are in the crowd and the first responders. And I get so many people come up to me after the show and say how much they appreciate that little bit of something to them.
Yeah, I think that, as divided as we are, we can all sit together for 2 hours at a concert and we can be united, no matter what.
Absolutely. I think music brings us together, bridges, cultures, language, whatever it is. And there's so much going on right now. There's a lot of hardship going on in the world, in our country. So to me, music is a way that we can, like you said, whether how divided we can be sometimes, it brings us together, and that's something that I love being a part of.
And also, I gotta say, man, you still look great. You haven't aged since that time I saw you 17 years ago. It's amazing. What's your skincare regimen? I need to get in on that.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm looking old these days.
You know what, my regimen? I think rock and roll's definitely keeping me young. I'm in my 60s. I'm 63. I swear I don't feel it at all. I'm a big advocate for moving. I try to motivate my fans to get up and just do walking, get on the treadmill, I do an hour every morning on the treadmill. I just kind of do a power walk thing, and I'm really crazy with water. I drink a lot of water in the morning, and I'm sort of drinking a lot during the day, and I think it helps to hydrate your body, your skin, whatever it is. And I've definitely been avoiding alcohol. Like, I'll have a glass of wine or a beer, but I never drink before the show. And just I do more of a celebration kind of a beer thing. But I'm just I try to take care of myself and stay motivated and keep my fans keep them active if I can.
Paul Rogers kind of said the same thing, and then Paul Rogers is like 80 and he still sounds amazing. It's the same kind of thing where you just like take care of yourself. And marketing idea.
He's amazing. He is still amazing. You're absolutely right.
He's my favorite frontman of all time. Marketing idea, a Gary Hoey workout album called Let's do
it. Sweating to the Hoey hits. I'm in.
Sweating to the Hoeys? Oh my God. You and your son. That's what you do right there. Sweating to the Hoeys. It's a workout album. You and your son doing like cutting heads from Crossroads. That would be amazing.
Yep. I think you're right. I think it would get people motivated. It's funny you should say that, because I just came out with my first ever water bottle, like on my website under my merchandise. We have the Gary Hoey hydration bottle because I'm always pushing water. So I found like this cool bottle, that I really like, and I've been putting them on my website just to motivate people. And a few other people have said, when are you going to do a workout video? That would be so funny. That would be amazing.
What about a song called Hydration Blues? There you go, right there. That's another. Look, these are all free. You can have these.
I like it.
Yeah.
I picked up my water. I got to sip it a little down. Let's do it.
I love it. I'm a huge fan. Who is on your rock god guitar Mount Rushmore?
Wow, that's a good one, man. I mean, my Mount Rushmore would probably be, if it's as far as guitar players go.
Yeah, just
I'd
guitar
probably
players.
have up there, I'd probably have Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay.
I would have Jeff Beck. I would have obviously Jimi Hendrix, maybe Eric Clapton. I might have either Richie Blackmore or Gary Moore. And if there's anyone else, it'd probably be Ozzy.
Wow, that's that's a really good.
Maybe Dick Dale. We got to throw Dick Dale in there. We can go on more.
Dick Dale is kind of one of those guys that's like there's nobody else like him. You know what I mean? Like a true original.
Yes, exactly. Right from the 50s and the 60s,
Yeah.
he's a classic, and to get to work with him on Endless Summer 2 was a blessing. And he passed away. I miss him every day.
Now, you are do a lot of surf stuff. You had an album, Monster Surf, and obviously the Endless Summer 2 soundtrack. Are you a surfer? Do you surf?
You know what? I did learn to surf when I was living in California. I was hanging out with Rob Machado, Donovan Frankenreiter, Kelly Slater, and we would sit around the beach and play guitars. I'd bring all my acoustics down. We'd play the theme from Endless Summer 2, and then they would get me out on the waves. And I did learn how to surf. I wouldn't say I'm a good surfer by any means, but I learned how to get up and catch a wave, and feel that religious feeling that they feel. So I've had the thrill for a minute.
Is it really like that? Do you feel that kind of like connection, like with the ocean and all that everybody talks about, like in Point Break?
Absolutely. It's because when you're in the water hanging out, you gotta time it. When the waves are coming in, you got to time when to start, getting yourself going to get up on that wave. And it's just this emotion, this connection to the ocean. And I'm not talking like I'm a pro surfer or anything, but there's a beautiful thing about it. And once you catch that wave, there's a thrill. And of course, you're being one with the ocean, with the world. It's an awesome thing.
It's kind of a cool thing when you think about you and Kelly Slater switching places, you getting into the ocean and surfing with Kelly Slater and Kelly Slater playing guitar with you. It's kind of like a Freaky Friday kind of deal. It's funny.
Oh, it's crazy. And they're all super nice guys, and they love music. They love music as much as I love music, even, and now Donovan Frankenreiter has a beautiful career as an artist. He's touring and crushing it.
Yeah, I remember he was here for like Christmas, and I really wanted to go, but I was out of town. I love the new Christmas, the Sugar Plum Fairy song. I love your whole catalog is crazy. Like it really is like kind of a roadmap to how to be a great musician and keep a career active and alive, man. It's awesome. I just want to tell you that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Every album I make, I really do try and put everything into it, and I just say to myself, will this thing still sound good in 10 years? You know what I mean? I try to keep that thing of making sure that it has integrity and that it'll stand the test of time. That's my goal.
And it's funny because without, when you do the guitar instrumentals, it's so international. Like, it's a feeling. It's not, you don't identify with lyrics. You're stuck in a vibe, and it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
Thank you so much. I think instrumental music is cool because sometimes the fact that there's no words, it's where the music can hit you at a different level. And, I don't want to say words are distracting because I have vocal songs too.
Sure.
But I've had messages from like kids, studying for their SATs in college and stuff. And they'll be like, man, I play your music in the background while I'm studying. And it actually helps me. It motivates me, but it doesn't distract me. And, different things like that. So I think, there's a cool place for it for sure.
Do you ever meet like second and third generation fans now with, parents bringing their kids out to your shows and stuff?
All the time. I have to tell you, I have, especially doing the holiday tour now, we have 2 and 3 generations coming out where kids are coming up to me that are, 16, 20 years old, 18, and they're saying, Gary, I was raised on Ho Ho Hoey music or the Endless Summer 2, and my parents played your music all the time, and now I love the music. And so I'm seeing the different generations coming out, and or people will, say to me, my dad passed away. He loved your music, and I'm here to tell you that. Different things like that. And so, yeah, I'm seeing the generations hanging out with me, which is really cool.
I saw that this might not be true because I read it on Wikipedia that you auditioned to be in Ozzy's band right before Zakk Wylde came in. Do you remember that at all, or did that really happen?
I do. That was one of my most exciting moments of my life because I was a big fan and I was living in Boston. And Ozzy came to town on a radio interview. He was looking for a guitarist, and I literally called up the radio station and started going. I started playing Crazy Train over the phone, and they ended up telling Ozzy, there's some guy on the phone playing Ozzy Osbourne riffs, and they told me to send in a demo, and I did, and I got a call. I got flown to LA, and there I was in Hollywood playing with Ozzy, and got the audition. And even though I didn't get the gig, he was so nice to me and told me that I had a lot of talent, and he's like, come on, he was telling me I needed to move to LA. So I listened to him. I went home and I sold everything I had, and I drove across the country in a U-Haul. And I ended up signing with Warner Brothers Records about 4 years after that. And my career took off when I went to California.
That's amazing. That's like one of the coolest things I've ever heard. So like Ozzy gave you the advice, you followed it, and now you got a whole 20 plus album catalog, some of the most revered holiday music of all time. That's amazing.
Thank you. You know what? He just made me believe in myself, to be honest with you. I tell people out there all the time, if you're going for a job or a gig, sometimes you might not get it. You might come in second place or third place, but at least if you get noticed, you know that you have something to offer. And that's what Ozzy showed me, that that I did have something, because I think he knew good guitar players. I mean, he picked some of the great musicians. So I felt like, wow, if I could even get him to turn his head this way, I must have something to offer. I must have something. So it was my motivation to keep going, which is great.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who played with Tony Iommi. You know what I mean? Like this guy, and Geezer Butler in his own right was an amazing guitar player that turned into a bass player. So this guy knows talent, and there's no shame in coming in second to Zakk Wylde. I can tell you that.
Yes, not a problem at all.
Yeah, that's a scary man. So I'll let you go because I could monopolize your time all day, but I won't. I'll just say that your new Christmas single is out right now. It's called the Gary Hoey's Nutcracker Suite Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. It's amazing. Everybody check it out. You can go to GaryHoey.com. Buy the albums. You can also register to win a autographed Fender guitar at GaryHoey.com and pick up. Are all of your albums for sale on your website?
Yes, most of the stuff is on the website. We have some stuff autographed if they want to get an autographed copy, and anything that's not on there, is on the different streaming platforms for download and stuff like that. So,
now, the vinyl that you're talking about, is that a Record Store Day exclusive, or can you also buy that from your website?
It's not on the website right now because we're doing an exclusive Black Friday record store day because we're trying to get people to go out and get some vinyl and promote the record stores. So it's only there for now, and then I'll have it on my website probably in the new year.
Oh, perfect, man. Thank you so much for your time. Happy ho ho hoey days, as they say. Man, good luck. Hope to see you here in town sometime soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, bro, for the time, and I appreciate you having me on the show. And going back to when we met each other in person, I'm glad we can still stay connected. Thank you.
I just want to say you did offer me to live in your guest house, so I hope that still stands because I'm bringing my family with me.
You know what?
Well.
The offer's still there, my friend. You know that.
Thanks, Gary, man.